everybody in the day trading universe, and welcome to 100 Trades in Review, episode number 12. And in this episode, we're going to be looking at a trade by somebody called Noah. But before we get into that, let's talk about chart raiders. If you don't know about it, the Karma Goblins are going to come and get you. And if they haven't gotten you yet, you better sign up and check out Chart Raiders. Chartraiders.com is a project I've been working on for 2 years that's going to change everything as you know it. So let's get right into the trade. After that, non-sponsored, sponsored plug, paid for by myself to myself with $0 for $0. And let's get into it. Okay, let's hit play on the sucker and see where it goes.
Hello, my name is Noah.
I haven't seen anything from Noah yet, so this will be cool.
From my bad English, but I hope you can understand it.
We can understand you just great, Noah. No worries, dude.
At this 5-minute backside.
Okay.
And I saw this trend deep diving to this final hold down here and regaining this 1 hour range trend.
Okay, so I'm just going to start off by pausing this video early and say that's a heck of a list he's got on the right side of the screen up there. His trading list on this side up in the top right corner, very dope. It's very big. But now actually let's get into the real information here. So he's talking about a final hold of the move being hit. So immediately, if we're talking about logic flow and the things we look at when we think of trading and always putting the pieces together in terms of where's this trade going, what is it doing, we have to think of logic flow. So if initially he has said he has found the final hold of the move, the final low, which he's seen as this knife catch. And if that's the case, I would expect to look for a buy that would ladder off that somewhere. So something where you would have kind of some type of level that would be the final point, maybe a reverse level, maybe an origin level. Kind of looks like he has a level here. See if you guys can see my mouse. Kind of looks like maybe there's like an origin right here, like right here that connects through. So maybe that would be a good spot to enter the trade, or maybe even lower down here, some other time frames. So pretty much anything that ladders over this move. And if he's already seen the final low of the move get hit, it's probably going to dump past that if it can't hold whatever it would. So I would be cautious to take a long here if he's looking for a long, or if he's looking for short, maybe he has some targets up top. So let's just see how this thing plays out.
I'm marked here. So I'm trying to get re-entry on this 5 to continue the move up. And
so I think his 5-minute level is way too high.
Ladder this.
You've already, and okay, let's talk about this for a second. Let's go back here. Let's go back a few seconds, pause the video. Okay, so he's already hit his inverse level, and that inverse level is going to continue that failure down. So on his move, he's kind of got an interesting spot here because he has broke the local wick on the top right here with this right here. So that would open up things like floating levels. However, your floating level has to stay above this. So again, I would be looking deeper in that range. And if you do hold that, then I would look to move above this. I think maybe this 5-minute level might be a bit risky, but you could probably open a trade on it since it hasn't been tested here. I'd like to see confirmation of time frames, and I don't want to see it go too much below this 5-minute level because it looks like he has a trend here. But I think that if you were to set a buy on the 5-minute level, and if it doesn't instantly bounce, you'd be looking for kind of an exit. So that would be my strategy. If I'm going to go long, I could do 866.9, but if I did, I would be looking for something pretty immediate in terms of like, I would like to see a reaction straight up right away. I'd like to see you get over that hourly trend that he has, and I would like to see that reaction pretty quick. And if you don't have that quick reaction, I think I would just get out of the trade and take the next long in the move. But you know, you really have to hold over top of this ladder point down here. So let's just see what happens here with Noah's trade to see if he gets in a trade. I think maybe he has one open there. I don't mind the open. I just think you have to act very quick. If you don't have a really big bounce and start developing levels almost instantly, like have a good size bounce and start creating 1-minute hold levels that turn into 3s, that turn into 5s, and monitor that thing like a lot, I would just probably exit the trade. So let's see. I'm not sure if he has an open trade here or what happens, but okay, his level's hit. It's going below. It looks like it's going after the front side. Like at this point, okay, let's pause this. If he's in a trade at this point, I would be exiting back on the 5-minute level here and just going for a break-even exit because it did bleed through his level so much. Regardless if it goes up, I would like to just reduce risk here and diminish some of that loss that I have if he's even in a trade. I'm just speaking off the cusp here. He has that level marked. I'm thinking he might have a trade there. If not, that's okay too. But just anybody who would have traded that level, this is how I would have handled it. You go through that level too quickly like this, you pretty much instantly drop down. I would be taking my exit back at the level to break even here, and I wouldn't be trying to sit here and be like, oh well, maybe it's going to move up and I got the sickest entry on a huge move up. It's too risky. Like right there, I would have exited. Right there, right now, exit. I don't care if it goes up. That's exit. You've gone way too low below the level. Also, another thing that here that tells me that is that you have the break of a move here, right? And so that you have that break there. It's laddered above it by the looks of it. You guys can't see that because my camera's in the way. Let me turn that off for a second here. Turn off my camera. See, I'm looking at this level back here as a possible origin. And if you just kind of drag it over to the right, it looks like you have hit it. And if not, you've definitely hit this one right beside it. So that's why I say like I would be very careful of this because it looks like you've hit the part of the move that's going to break. So you'd expect it to bounce up, maybe reach this inverse again, and then fall straight down.
Oh, I got filled.
Okay, he did get filled.
Stop loss is just below this low.
See, I
here.
don't like that. I don't like that because you've already hit the break of the move. Basically what you have a separation of the move here. You have 2 points that can hit. You have the point that can hold the move and the point that can break the move. His 5-minute level here can hold the move. Also, this interior level here, the 5-minute front side, can hold the move. But what would break the move is this origin here, like this break level that turns into an origin in the future, or already this here if it's hit. Now I can't quite see because I can't mark a level on, and I'll take the camera off again. I can't quite see here this level because I'm just in a video replayer tool, but it kind of looks like it did hit that level. But in any case, it still hits this, and that's going to break the move as to where this protects it to move up. So I would definitely be cautious here. And I would already be on exit break even.
And my target is this.
I just don't like getting into a trade and then here, I'm going to pause this again. I just don't like getting into a trade and then that trade hits the break of the move. And then in the break of that move, you're going to see it go down and decompose the move. I just don't like when I enter a hold level, it moves up, but it's already hit what it needs to break. It means it can collapse very fast. I don't know what that right click on my video player was. I've never seen that before. He's fast. Like I would be out of this trade. Like, and this is exactly, okay. So this is the point where what we said would be what we look for. Like it hits this inverse level here and then it's going to move it down, or even this one up here and it will move it down, right?
It looks like
he needs to be out of this trade in my opinion.
And also created my 5 entry as a reverse level, either here or the reverse backside.
Yeah, so this is a point, like this is a point where you're gonna get a lot of this in that trade. You're gonna get a lot of these instead of a lot of these. So like when you're picking what you want in your trade, okay, I'm kidding, but no, seriously, in all seriousness, you know, that hold level it hits, and if it's not bouncing the move, so basically you're gonna have 2 parts in that move. You're gonna have the hold level that has to hold the move, and you're gonna have the piece of that move that breaks it. So his and in our case is like down here, and it's like if it hit this level perfectly, so like if it bounces and touches that hold level perfectly and it starts to move off, great, stay in the trade. But when you have a part that's going to break the move and a part that's going to hold the move, and it goes through the part that's going to break the hold it to break it, when you hit that, you're kind of already in dead man's land. Sometimes they can hold based on bigger time frames, but really here when you're entering a trade on a hold level, that hold level has to hold. It can't go through the hold level, create it as a reverse in the future, and break the move by setting up that that part of it where it has hit that break level. So you have to be very careful with that.
It kind of concerns me that we'll keep on.
Looks like he'd have a nice little trend that formed right here, so he really should add this trend. Like what I'd like to see is him have a trend from here to here like this, just to see if it breaks through that trend. Like obviously you've lost the interior piece of that move, right? I don't even think you're necessarily going to get that far in the move. I think you're just going to break it before you even get there. But let's see what happens. Oh, he's lasering through this thing. The move is held, that's fine, but again, you've already hit the break of the move, so this is going to keep hitting inverse levels until it just ultimately collapses, right? Like even if you look at this trail of moves here, like you hit a backside here, right? You hit that backside there, then you go to this one here, you hit it there, you go to this one here, you hit it there, you go to this one here, you hit it there. Like you're just being compressed. So unless you can break some kind of trend that's on the top side here, you're really just going to keep moving down. See what I mean? Like it's just going to keep moving down until it pushes through that level. Let's see what happens. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. But I think the big point here, like the big lesson, there's his trade there. Looks like he's in the trade and he's got his stop. He's trying to get out and break even. He's trying to limit exit there. He thinks it's going to go down, and he ultimately exits the trade. So that's good. He protected his move. He kind of got out at a break even point. I do like the exit. I think he waited way too long. I think I would rather look for a short here in this trade rather than a long, especially when you hit the break of the move. And that's really the point where I would define that. I would look for a short here because you have hit this local part of the move. Like you have, created this as a break of the move, and you have hit it. You didn't use your 5 minute to protect you, and regardless of how long it sits here, like it's already broken the move. So now it's just going to continue to ladder down against that. You know, if you have the hold level here and you bounce off that, at least you can make a hold level, bounce off, create a new hold level, get above that. Like you're going in the right direction because you have a hold level that's holding. You've created hold levels that you're getting above. In this case, we hit a break and we're just moving against that break by hitting inverses. So like you really should be looking at a short here. I think even off of this local level right here. Like I don't even think it's too late to short this right here. So let's see what happens in the next little bit here. But my vote is going for even, you should have been in a short already. And then you would exit this short when you gain this 5 minute level right here. So like if you start closing above this candle and you're in your short, then you have to just exit for another break even spot. And then actually maybe it goes long. Right? But I think the short would have been the right play here off this level. And then you have your body of your candle there that if you get above it on the same time frame, you're good to kind of just exit the trade. You know what I mean? Oh, and then, oh wait, what happened there? So we're here. So the move is trying to ladder, and then he moves forward, and then, oh wow, that's a huge dump. So it went from 856 to 581. Yeah, and that's like a pretty quick play. He's on 5-minute charts here. That would have been a quick 150% or whatever it is here, maybe even more. No, not more. It would be around 150%. That's a quick 150% within 10 minutes to get that short because the long failed. And then maybe you can, exit and hedge against here 4-hour trend here. I'm not sure where that comes from, but it looks like it would have been a good hedge target. So I think the moral of this is that, when you have like I would sum this entire lesson up to, you have a hold level here. This is only 10 more seconds here. I don't think there's anything left in this video. No, there's nothing left. So the moral of the story here, we're just going to pause this, get back here. The moral of the story here is that, when you have a hold level and you have a break level and you're trying to buy that hold level here, that's fine. You can always enter this hold level, but if it goes past that and hits the break, get back out on the bounce up to that hold level, because sometimes if that hold level is here and you've gone through it and you've targeted down here, what's going to happen is you hit that hold level or you go through it, you come back down here, it is going to hard close. Let's move it this way a bit. It is going to hard close that level by going like this and coming back above it to bounce off of it and then fall right underneath it. So that's going to end up hard closing the level, and then you're going to end up losing the trade anyway. So, when you retest that hold level back up that you're trying to get on top of, if you can't get above it, it hard closes it. So you're always kind of at a disadvantage when you enter a long on a hold level and it goes down to a break of a move. You're always at a disadvantage playing a losing trade typically. Now, sometimes they boost back over and it works out for you, but you're going to lose more money than you're going to make on those trades because for the most part, they're just going to sink straight down. So great job on Noah to exit that trade right before the dump. But I think the only comment that I would have, if he thinks it's going to break down like that, I think it's time to just take a short against that level. And then you're just left with one of these for the day. So cheers. See you on the next one.